Good morning, everyone.
Hey, Kevin, how are you?
Not too bad. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah. Did y'all have a nice weekend so far?
Yeah, can't complain. Got rain, we got a couple workouts in.
Did you get to go to Strongman yesterday?
Yeah.
Was it fun? Or terrible?
I liked it because I got to do stones.
Ah.
It had been a while.
Yeah.
I saw your grand appearance on the Instagram with your. I was like, who is that person? You made it just for deadlifts. I know what that MO was.
Yes, I did make it just for deadlifts. I have been in a couple times for squats. I've been in like 3 or 4 times, but that's it. But yes, I finally made it on the Instagram. Jen was like, "Is it okay if I post you?" I'm like, "It's fine if you post me. It's fine. No big deal." Yeah, I have a couple friends who are quite judgy, so I've been trying to stay off of going out. Like I feel really safe at TCS, so I don't mind going in, but
it's completely fine. Everybody's conscious. Everybody's doing the right thing. So it's not like going to a bar and sitting, drinking, and smoking. No.
It's just like working out outdoors. Like it's the same thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
But it was my first time deadlifting in 6 months with like an actual bar, which was kind of so nice. It's so much. But I'm a deadlifter. Deadlifting is my favorite. If I choose one thing, I'm gonna choose deadlifting. I like to deadlift. I just do. It's a fun movement. So to finally do it again with like an actual bar was pretty exceptional. I was like, yes.
You're right, man.
Yes.
He's like, look at my butt, everybody.
It's a cute little waggy butt.
Yeah.
A little waggy butt going on over there. How are you doing, Julia?
I am just about recovering, but only just. I'm still pretty because I went climbing in the Tetons.
Oh, cool.
We climbed to Mount Moran, and it was a big deal. So I'm going to lose both my big toenails.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a hard time.
It was a 3,000-mile drive round trip because I drove from Texas up to Jackson.
Wow.
I didn't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of 2.5 day drive, but they're long days.
Yeah.
So that's 5 days of driving, 3 days of climbing, 4 days because we had a prep day just to kind of go through some of the stuff that we were going to do and get it kind of down so that we wouldn't have to be faffing around on the mountain.
Wow, how fun. That is so cool.
It killed me because it's hard. It's hard
work. Yeah. But that's so cool to have done. That is.
Yeah, well, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without doing the strength training.
Yeah.
Because it just gives you that much more stability, core stability, and then legs, obviously.
For sure.
You start off with a canoe, so you canoe 2 legs. Because you don't have to do that, but it avoids a huge amount of walking around the lake to get to the start of the approach climb.
Yeah.
So lifting the canoe onto the car right there using press.
Wow. How cool.
Yeah, it was good.
That is
weather.
That is so much fun. Congrats on finishing that. That's amazing.
Thanks.
Very, very cool.
Yeah. So I'm suffering.
I'm sure. I'm sure, but that's
And I
awesome.
know it takes at least a week to recover from something like that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's nice to put all your strength training to use and be like, yeah, this is why I do this. I'm going to go climb a thing. That's awesome. I figured we'd do arms today since we've been doing legs and back for the past few weeks. Are we good with arms, or was there a specific request for something? I'm happy to change if there's something in particular.
I'm happy to do arms, but I could do with some hip openers.
Hips and arms. Deborah, Ed, anything? Or y'all? It all hurts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got a nagging knee that I've been working on, so whatever we do here today, I've got that
We have
part covered.
supplemental.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good with whatever.
Okay. All right. So we'll do shoulders and then we'll drop down to hips for a bit. Let's get started. So let's do a recheck of, let's lay on the ground and do arm flexions. So come onto your spine, laying down in constructive rest position, knees bent, feet flat on the ground. Keeping the spine nice and stabilized, we'll flex the arms overhead, getting to a point where you feel a stop without your spine changing shape. So go through that motion a couple times, particularly if you haven't moved yet today. Find that arm flexion that works for you. And then from here, we'll take our knees out wide, getting into the hips as well, opening through the inner thighs, a nice butterfly position, just a reclined butterfly. Get a sense for the inner outer hip, how they are feeling, what they are like at this point in time. And then we'll bend through the knees. Grab for your balls. You probably will want to block for the shoulder portion of this, having a blocker or a stack of books or something, just to rest your butt on as we come into the rolling portion. It just makes it a little nicer so you don't have to do as much work. But the first place we're going to put the balls is right on the upper trap. So finding the meat of the shoulder, kind of the tank top bra strap line. One ball goes on each side. The upper trap is quite big, so you can go right on that, on the mid portion of it, or like Deborah, if you're feeling quite sore in the neck, you can come a little closer to the spine and get kind of on the inside of the tank top bra strap line if that's more comfortable, because all of this is upper trap, so getting anywhere in this area is going to feel nice and probably be a good place to get. So we will set the balls, place them wherever feels good for you. Right on that tank top bra strap line, maybe a little closer, maybe a little further out. And then I like to lift my butt, place it on. I do the second height of the block, height 1, height 2. I do it on the second height of the block. Place my right on my pelvis and set myself up so those balls are digging right into the upper trap. And you might be able to tell right away if one side is quite a bit more testy than the other side. If you are a high stress individual, like myself, hanging out and just letting the balls sink in might be your best course of action. Breathing and seeing if you can mentally let relax around the ball is really a great place to be. And sometimes will actually give you the most benefit. If you are also like myself and get a little ADD at times, you can find some movement here. I like to start by reaching to the right and reaching to the left. So I'm creating a little side to side scrub left and right. It's not a huge movement. It's an inch to the right, an inch to the left. Little belly dancer move. Side to side to side to side. Let the balls careen across
that portion of the upper trap. Now, if you're choosing the movement and you find a spot that you're like, oh, right there needs a little extra love, you're welcome to then stop the movement and come into that sustained compression again, just hanging out on the spot that needs the attention. Keep in mind the movement is always optional here as we go. If the side to side is working for you, you're welcome to stick with it. If you want to change it up a little bit, you can dig your heels into the ground and create a little up and down chug movement. So a little scrub north to south here. It is a scrub, so it's only like a little inch up, inch down kind of movement. It's not huge. But once again, as you're going, if you're like, that ball right in that position feels great, feel free to stop or adjust where the balls are placed. All right, so now we're going to stop that, and we're going to take the arms overhead. And overhead, I mean reaching to the wall behind you or whatever is behind you. We're going to go through some contract relax here. So you're going to pretend like you're climbing a rope, and you're going to reach with the right hand, which is going to contract that upper trap, and then reach with the left hand, which is going to contract the other side. And you're going to continue to reach as if you're climbing an endless rope above you. Kind of a special kind of terrible there. Keeping the breath flowing, inhaling and exhaling, trying not to hold the breath at any point. Go one more to each side here. And then we'll let that go. Let's take the balls out, remove the block from beneath you. Now we're going to come into the outside of the arm. I like to stack the balls up as such. You can do this with a single ball, but if you're doing it with a single lacrosse ball, it's probably going to hurt like hell. So I would suggest if you're using a single lacrosse ball, going to more of a peanut type of thing. I like the block for my head on this. The balls are going to come into the right hand. You'll reach across, place them just on the outside of the armpit, so just the back side of the armpit, and then you'll roll on top of them. This is where the block can come right beneath the head, just to let the neck relax a little bit. Our motion is going to be rolling onto the back, so that you're rolling onto the shoulder blade, and then rolling back off to the back side of the armpit. Taking yourself side to side to side to side, so you're rolling on and off of that shoulder blade. And if, as we're going through this, you're like, wait, I don't get it, please speak up. You might run into some cranky spots. If you do, feel free to hang out on those and breathe into it.
I mean, this is more of my hip digging into the ground.
You can add more padding.
No.
Get underneath. Yeah. You got bony hips, or?
I don't. I think it's the IT band connection.
Ah, gotcha. Well, then that's probably needed. You just roll over it more. So I found kind of a nice spot. So I'm just hanging out on a particular spot that feels quite cranky. As this is kind of the rotator cuff, as I found this spot, I'm going to twist my arm up, palm face up, and then scarecrow my arm down. So kind of like a goalpost, and I'm taking my palm up and taking my palm down, creating rotation of the upper arm to kind of get a little stretch and contract of that rotator cuff. All right. I can hang out on that all day, so I'm just gonna come off. Let's switch sides. Going to the opposite side, so now I'll take the balls in my left hand, reach them across so that they're just outside of the armpit. Roll onto the side, set yourself up. Once you are in this position, rolling onto the shoulder blade and back off. Onto the shoulder blade and back off. Little side to side movement. It is always good to notice which side feels worse, where you're holding that tension. Something that is always good to notice. I can feel right away on this one that posterior deltoid is quite cranky. The rotator cuff itself feels not so bad, so I'm going to venture up just a little bit to get more into that posterior delt and give it a little bit of love. And once again, if you find a spot that is super cranky and you just want to hang out on it, please do so. You can come back to that little scarecrow arm, palm face up, palm face down. With the ball in this spot, my internal rotation is questionable, but it's creating a nice stretch that feels quite good for that area. Make sure you are breathing. Trying to not hold the breath. Keep the breath flowing. We'll take about 20, 30 more seconds here, playing with it as you see fit. And then we will let that go. I want to do one final roll for the upper back, especially for those of you who did strongman yesterday. It's going to be the peanut roll that we do in class more often, but we're going to actually move with it. So you're going to take the balls on either side of the spine, one on each side. Lay down on top of them. Grab the head with the hands, lift the butt, and you'll careen those balls all the way down to the base of the rib cage, which for the ladies in the group, it's going to be right about where your bra strap ends, and then all the way back up. So covering the whole portion of that upper spine as you careen those balls up and down the spine, creating a little bit of extension in each spot as you go. Lift the butt off the ground a little bit. Hold the neck with the arms. You might work in segments. Yeah. Little moves at a time. It should feel terrible but great after strongman. All right, when you're ready, we will pull the balls out. We're gonna take them down to the butt, and we're just gonna do a quick swipe out of the butt. I like to stack the balls as such. I start right, you place your hand right in the middle at the base of the spine. That's about the size of your sacrum. I start just outside the sacrum. So right about there, rolling all the way out and all the way back. So coming down to the butt, all the way out, all the way back through center. I like to come into that full twist at the end to get into the outer hip, but feel free to work your way up to that if the outer hip is a little sticky today. If you have two separated balls like I do, like they're not in their tote, the balls will kind of go away from each other. That's okay. You can let them travel away. And then once they get too far, just bring them back through center. All we're doing here is just a general sweep of the hip. So move at your own pace. If you want it to go a bit deeper, just move slower. If you're like, no, I just want to kind of clean the area out, you can just swipe back and forth rather quickly. It's up to you and what your body's feeling like today. About 15, 20 more seconds here. And then we'll switch to the opposite side. So taking the balls over, same thing, round two. Place the balls in there, rolling all the way out to the outer hip and all the way back through center. That twist can be quite helpful to get to the outer hip. So don't be afraid of it. And once again, if you're rolling and you have separated, you have the balls out of the tote and they move away, let them move away. It'll cover more area. And then when you're ready, just pull them back through center. We'll take another 15, 20 seconds here. And then we'll come off of that, set the balls off to the side. We'll come back into our check, recheck. So setting yourself in that constructive rest position, feet flat on the ground, brace through the core, flex the arms overhead, get an idea of how and if it has changed. Do you have more range of motion? Maybe the in range just feels less sticky, less like a stop. And then when you're ready, we'll flop the knees open, bring the soles of the feet together for a reclined butterfly. Noticing how that feels. Getting a sense for the inner thigh, the outer thigh. If there's any change, maybe your knees are a bit closer to the ground. And then let's bring ourselves up. So let's start in a standing position just to get a sense for where our bodies are. I'm gonna attempt to get all in the picture if I can. Okay, so we're gonna move into some range of motion movements here. And just see where it takes us. So we're gonna start with the arms. And for this, we're gonna start by doing big arm circles. And for this, I want you to try to keep your chest as still as possible. As your arm comes behind you, try to go slow and see how big of a circle you can actually make. Try to feel all those little tiny muscles working around the shoulder to help pull that arm behind you, while at the same time keeping the chest facing forward. Not letting the chest get involved. I like to notice what my stopping point is. If your stopping point is pain, stay just inside of that pain, meaning make the circle just a little smaller to get a sense of where your non-painful range is. Next time you come forward, we'll switch the direction, take it back, up and around, back, up and around. And once again, as you come back, really feel for those small muscles working, all those stabilizers turning on to find your very end range of motion. We'll take one more. And then we'll switch sides, going the opposite side. Arm comes up, over, and back. And same thing, round two, try to keep the chest forward. Notice what's stopping you from going further. Feeling all those tiny muscles working to pull your arm behind you. It doesn't need to be a fast movement. And then next time the arm comes forward, switch directions, take it back and around. My chest really wants to turn into it on this side. And like on this side, I can feel that my pec is what is actually stopping me from going further. Can feel that there is tension in the front of this, and the front side body on this side, that's actually getting a stretch instead of the back side like I did on the other side. So keeping those things in mind, if you're going for an overhead day and you know, hey, the front of this is what limits my range of motion, rolling out the front prior to the movement might be the better idea than rolling out the back. So keeping those things in mind as you do this, if you run into like, that's different. This one stops by going back. This one stops by the front side. Those are good pieces to take with you to the gym so you know how to help yourself get better range on your heavy days. I think we're even. I think we've done enough on that side. As I go into diatribes, it's good to stop sometimes. All right, let's come down to elbows, mainly because, Deborah, you said your knee is bothering you, and elbows are the opposite joints. And when we work our elbows, particularly the elbow on the opposite side, because of our gait pattern, and the ground force reaction from that gait pattern, the opposite joint, which for the knee, the opposite joint is the elbow, can sometimes help reduce the pain on the opposite side. It's a weird thing. There's a lot of neurological basis for it, but the grounds of it is physics. And as you take that step, if the knee is injured, that ground force reaction is coming up and can make the opposite joint, it's weird. It works, is the main thing. But we are gonna come and do some elbow circles. So what these look like, and we're gonna do one elbow at a time just because you have an actual knee injury. The goal is, I call them ice cream scoops. So pretend you're holding an ice cream scooper. You scoop the ice cream and then you serve it. Turn the hand down, scoop the ice cream, serve it, turn the hand down. Now, to get more into this, if you have a thing like a rubber band, you can always stand on the rubber band, hold the rubber band in your hand, and as you do your ice cream scoops, add some load to really help stabilize that elbow and get the elbow working in full range. But it's always optional. All right, let's switch directions. So pinky side will come into the chest. It'll go down, palm turns up, then you bend the elbow. Around, palm turns up, then you bend the elbow. Looks good. And then let's switch sides. Grabbing the ice cream scoop with the opposite side, scoop in, open it up, turn the palm down while trying to keep the bicep up, and then scoop your ice cream.
Trying to disassociate the upper arm from the lower arm. Can you make the lower arm work without the upper arm engaging? And then let's switch directions. Comes in, down, palm turns up, then the upper arm can turn. Got 2 more. Last one. And then we'll let that go. If you have a strap, go ahead and grab it. If you don't have a strap, a towel or a blanket or something of the sort works. You're going to take the strap behind us to begin with. Everybody have some sort of a strappy thing. Towel, belt, strap, something of the sort. There she is. Julia, you have something strap-like?
I've got a skipping rope.
Perfect, that works. All right, so you're gonna take it behind you. Notice that my palms are facing forward, so I'm open through the chest, and this is sitting at your desk all day counter activity. So I'm gonna turn my palms to face forward, and then I'm going to extend my arms behind me as my palms face forward. So I'm actively twisting my palms forward, and then I'm reaching my hands behind me. And then I'm going to attempt to squeeze my hands towards one another, creating slack on my strap. By squeezing my arms towards one another, keeping my palms facing out or forward to the best of my ability, reaching my arms behind me, squeezing my arms towards one another to create slack on the strap. Breathing, reach the arms behind you, twist the palms forward, squeeze them towards one another, and then we'll let that go, let the arms relax. That was enough for me. Done with that. I'm gonna kneel down here just so y'all can see me. We're gonna come back to this one, which we've done before. I know we've done it in class before. I don't know if we've done it since we've been on video, but here we are. You're gonna take your strap, jump rope, belt, whatever you have, and you are going to take it behind your head into little cactus arms. Now what I want you to focus on is not breaking the wrists. So try to keep your wrists stacked, knuckles above wrists. Pull the strap in 2, and then to the best of your ability, you're gonna attempt to reach the elbow forward as the whole of the wrist reaches back. So do y'all see that tiny movement right there? It's not huge, just a couple degrees, and it's even less on my left side. But I'm attempting to do that on both sides, and then I'm gonna go side to side, a little back of the head, ponytail ruiner, as you go left to right, right to left. Try to keep the wrists stacked, try to keep the elbows forward. And if you can think about it, can you keep the elbows forward without popping the ribs? Can you keep the ribs back and let the elbows go forward? If it's too much to think about, don't worry about the ribs. I'll just hang out here all day. It's good. Totally fine.
All day.
I'll let that go. Relax it. Shake it off. All right, let's move down to the legs for a moment just to give the arms a second to breathe, because my arms are feeling really dead after that. Did so many push-ups yesterday with conditioning. My arms are a little bit stupid right now. So we're gonna come into what's called hip figure eights. We've done the hip circles standing here, right? Like we've done these in this before recently. This is another way to create hip circles, but you're doing it with an open chain. So you're creating a little figure eight or infinity symbol on the ground with just your leg moving forward and backwards. The goal is to not find internal and external rotation. The goal is to keep those toes faced forward the entire time as you find your pendulum figure eight. And then if you really want to mess with yourself, you try to switch directions of the figure eight. It's just a brain activity there. Don't fall over. And we'll let that go. Switch sides. So lefty over here for me is very stupid. So when lefty tries to do the figure eight, it's very boxy and not near as smooth. Meaning that my brain does not have a map for this on this side. It tries really hard, but it doesn't really have a good map of my left leg. So by doing this, I'm helping it to create a better map of that joint so that maybe it will start to trust my left side a little more than it trusts my right. So if yours is choppy or a little ratchety, don't get too discouraged. That's your brain learning new things. And we'll switch sides, go the opposite direction if you can, not switch sides, switch directions. You can make it work. This side is much more forced for me. And then we'll let that go, shake that out. Let's move into, let's do some knee circles for Deborah. We just did elbow circles. Now we're gonna come into knee circles. If your knee currently hurts, you're taking these very small with very little weight. So most of your weight can be on your back leg and you can still perform a knee circle. If your knee doesn't hurt, you can put more weight on that front leg and make the front leg take more of the force. But knee goes forward, knee goes out, knee comes back, knee turns in, and I come into that awkward position that you're always like, oh no, don't do that. But now you're training it like, okay, I can add a little bit of load there so that my body knows what that position feels like. Once again, we're staying inside the pain. So if you do have pain, you're keeping it a smaller circle where there is no pain. And then switch directions, go the opposite way. And then let's switch sides. Knee comes forward, knee goes in, knee goes back, knee goes out. Big circle with as much weight as is comfortable for you. You're gonna always put more weight in the back leg and make it a less weighted as well as smaller knee circle. As you get good at it, you add more weight. Switching directions, going the opposite way. Go for two more. All right, and then we will let that go. All right, let's come down to the ground and do some movement of the hips. So we are gonna take a shin box or a 90-90 position, whatever you wanna call it. We're gonna move from this position in and out of pigeon. So 90-90 to a pigeon. And you're gonna do that by picking up your back leg, shooting it behind you, rolling into your pigeon. Now, if that is not doable for you, you simply lean off to the side and slide your leg back. But as you slide that leg back, you are trying to get your butt to turn on. You want to feel your butt doing the work there. You come into your pigeon for a moment, feel it out, set yourself back down, bring the leg back, flip the legs, and then you go again. Lift the back leg or lean off to the side, shoot it behind you, really feel the butt turn on,
Lean into your pigeon. Take a breath. Come out of it, pull the leg back in, switch sides. So 90-90 with pigeon at it. Your pigeon can look different than mine. That's okay. Make it non-painful, make it doable for you. But we're not hanging out in pigeon for a super long time. We're making it more dynamic, moving side to side. Let's go one more each side. Making sure you're all evened out wherever you're at. And we'll make our way back through center. So now we're going to take a big outer hip stretch with a cow face pose. So my left leg is going to come underneath me, and then my right leg is going to do one of multiple things. This might be good for you, where you're just kind of in that pretzel-y position, getting a nice stretch. If you can, you take it over the top. Maybe this is where you're at. This is a great place to be as well, getting the stretch in the outer hips. If you want to take it further, you can bring the foot out to the side, attempting to stack the knees on top of one another. My knees don't stack. I've been doing this pose for years, and my knees have never stacked. Will probably never stack. That's okay. The goal is to get a different position of your hips and also feel a nice stretch. This might be enough for you just to hang out in whatever position you choose to hang out in. If you want more, I like to take my hands behind me to fold forward to kind of force a hinge to get into more of the hip as opposed to the low back. However, if you're like, no, my low back needs some more flexion, you can flex through the spine and just roll down. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a perfectly fine movement. Just go with what your body is kind of craving today. If you roll down and you're like, oh, that feels so good, it's a wonderful stretch, do it, go for it. Otherwise, you can use your hands and make it more of a hinge. Both are great options. All right, let's slowly unwind out of that. Take your left top leg over top. It's now going to come underneath. This side can be completely different. There is nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have to be exactly like the other side. So pick your poison. It can be on the inside of the knee. It can move to the outside of the knee. Maybe you have the ability to bring it out just a little bit more and attempt to stack the knees. Find the one that works for you. My knees don't stack on either side. I'm okay with that. I don't need them to. It's not the goal. The goal is to get a stretch in my outer hip. Once you're here, you can decide if you want to fold forward. If you fold forward on the other side, you can make it different this time. You can round through the spine. You can take your hands behind you to more hinge through the hips. Pick what works for you. Hang out, make it feel awfully, terribly good. right, slowly, carefully pull yourself out of it. We are gonna do one more stretch for the hips. This is the very awkward one you really don't wanna have on camera, but we're gonna have it on camera. So we're gonna take the frog position.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've done inner thigh, now we're done outer thigh, now we're gonna do inner thigh. So I'm setting myself up in a frog. I suggest adding padding to your knees. Highly suggest it. Just roll up your mat and like in half, and that's where you're gonna set your knees. When you come into this position, your knees and ankle are in alignment, they're stacked, toes pointed outward as you come into your frog. Once you're down here, breathe and realize you can come out at any time that you might want to come out of it. I like to press my hips back towards my heels just a little bit more to create a slightly different stretch. It's a good place to be. If you are someone who's like, I cannot sit here without moving, I suggest coming forward, which is going to take you slightly out of the stretch, and then moving back into the stretch, making it slightly more dynamic. This is not a pulsing into it. You're literally like finding out of it and then going back into the stretch. Find what works for you. We will breathe into it. All right, let's do one more thing here that's just kind of fun to try. And your goal is to pick your back foot, one foot up off the ground, and then set it down. And then pick the opposite leg, the opposite foot up off the ground, and set it down. Creating that rotation. As you lift the foot, try not to let the hips go forward. Try to keep the hips back as you lift the foot. Lift and lower. Feel all kinds of weird muscles turning on. If you are unhappy with the depth of your squat, this is actually a great one to do. You might find after you do it with the foot lifts that your squat gets a little bit deeper. One more on each side. And then we very carefully come out of it. There's no graceful way to get out of this. I normally just flop myself forward and then slowly move my legs together. There's no graceful way to do it. So just get out of it, however it works for you. As you all know your squats, if you want to go ahead and take a squat and see how your squat feels after that, feel free to do so. It'll just give you an idea of if it's a good one for you to do prior to squatting. Yeah. Nice, Deborah. Nice, Julia. And the answer might be no, it wasn't any better, and that's okay too, but it's always good to kind of check it out and see.
Yeah, I'm always concerned I don't get down far enough, and I don't always feel it right here. I know when I've got it right, but I don't always do it right.
Yeah, well, you're below 90 there. You're definitely going past me.
But I haven't got any weight on my or on the front. I feel like front squats make me do better form.
That is not uncommon.
And so when we do the we've been doing the rotations, I think I did up to week 3 or 4 on the squat cycle. So I'm going on Thursday because there wasn't a space tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I'm going to go on Thursday because I know she does it on Thursday as well.
Yes,
Yep.
you can squat.
We'll see where I'm at with it.
Yeah, that's pretty good though.
It's
Pretty good depth.
Effective squatting, going up that mountain with my backpack.
Yeah. Each step is a little squat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How's your knee, Deborah? Was that too much rotation on the knee?
No, it's okay. It's straightening it that hurts. I think it's the tendon that kind of connects the hamstring and everything back here.
So what might be helpful is putting a ball behind the knee and sitting on it. Have you been doing that?
Yeah, I've been doing that in the gym in the mornings before our workout, just to get it moving better.
Yeah, and that gets into the hamstrings some too, so that might help it a bit. Yeah, that's a bummer. Definitely do elbow circles on the opposite elbow.
Okay.
That should, with time, give it some relief.
Okay.
It's not a pure fix, but it can lessen the pain kind of as you're moving.
Yeah, it's just tight.
Yeah. You know, stress of the world right now. Things get tight. It's just a part of it. Well, thanks for coming, everybody. We will be here next week. I'll be on TCS at home for squats tomorrow if any of you are doing at home. Otherwise, maybe I'll see you around the gym sometime.
Thank you.
Like,
Bye. Thanks,
Bye.
Kimmy.